All right, welcome to episode 90. Today, back on the table, the LA Rams with Jared Goff. Jay, is this a team that you can see Jared Goff ever leading to a Super Bowl again?
No. Technically, if we think about it, the first Super Bowl, they really shouldn't have gone there. That Saints play was kind of bullshit in the NFC Championship. Saints would have gone to the Super Bowl and they might have beaten Tom Brady. If you go to the Super Bowl and you play Tom Brady and you are told, if you hear about the game results and you're told Tom Brady finished with 262 yards and 1 interception, 0 touchdowns, 9 out of 10 times you would think Tom Brady lost that game and you're never going to get that lucky again. Yet the Rams didn't win. They put up 3 points. So that's just kind of a picture of what we saw already for Jared Goff's Super Bowl experience. I get it, a bad game happens sometimes, but obviously that's a bad time to have that bad game. But for future reference, I don't see them getting the chance again. That was their year. Sean McVay was the best coach in the league, arguably, that year, at least offensively. It was kind of a shaky year. Todd Gurley, I mean, obviously he had arthritis in his knee, and they kind of just limited to him, and they didn't even move on to C.J. Anderson, who was a great back that year. But future reference, I just don't see Goff making the Super Bowl again, and if he does, I don't think he'll win it. Just, especially being in that division, I don't see him ever surpassing Russell Wilson, especially Kyler Murray is looking just as good in that division as Russell Wilson. And I just don't see them beating them at all or ever taking that division within the next 5 to 10 years at all.
I don't know if I agree with you right now. I think that he's still a pretty solid quarterback. I wouldn't completely discredit him. I think there is a chance that he does make it. I don't see him winning it. I don't think he's a very clutch player. But I do like they got a pretty stout defense with some big names on like Aaron Donald. I do like them a little bit, but I don't foresee them winning a championship anytime in the near future. They're doing pretty solid this year, but as you mentioned, their division's real tough. I mean, the Cardinals are an upcoming big name, and Russell Wilson is, as always, amazing. So I don't see them winning their division. I can see them getting a few wild cards, making a few little noise in the playoffs for a few years, but I don't know if I see them winning a championship.
Yeah, I'm going to have to ultimately say no. We're not going to see this team make it to another Super Bowl with Jared Goff. Just looking at his career, he's played in a total of 4 playoff games. He's 2-2, and of course, that one season when I went to Super Bowl, he was 2-1, and then last year I think they went out first round. Is that correct? Sounds right to me. Anyway, whatever. That one season he was 2-1, and he's since then had 1 loss in the playoff. So anyway, that 2-2 record isn't anything terrible, but of course, playoffs where it really matters. And you mentioned that Super Bowl where they put up only 13 points. Sorry, they lost to a team that only scored 13 points by only putting up 3. I think that's the thing that sticks with me the most about when I think about Jared Goff and this Rams team is how they fought their way to get there. Arguably didn't even deserve to be there because of that questionable pass interference call in the NFC Championship against New Orleans, like you mentioned, Jay. So I think the Super Bowl appearance was almost a gift, and they just really didn't take advantage of that. So that, like I said, that's what really scars me about thinking about this Rams team. And Wade mentioned that the stout defense they have this year that I don't think existed in their Super Bowl season because now they have guys like Aaron Donald up front.
They had Aaron Donald with Jalen Ramsey.
Sorry, yes, they had Aaron Donald then, but now they've added Jalen Ramsey in the secondary. So I think that obviously the defense is better than it was, but in that particular game, the defense wasn't the issue. To give up 13 points to anybody, you should be able to win that game. So their offense is the issue, has been the issue. Even that season with even a spotty Todd Gurley, Brandon Cooks, and what was his name? Robert Woods on the end. 2 good receivers there. Jared Goff had the weapons, in my opinion, but wasn't able to get it done, and I don't think that ever changes.
Yeah, and we mentioned the Seahawks and Cardinals being a problem, but really, if the Niners replace Jimmy Garoppolo, they have a stellar roster.
And they don't lose 9 guys to injuries like
they
have
could
this
take
year.
out the Rams easily. Not easily, but I think they could also just be just competitive for the division. And a big part is also not even Jared Goff as much as we're blaming him. To me, is the move with Jalen Ramsey. They gave up 2 first rounds for them. So clearly, their future, they don't have a lot in the draft-wise, at least first round, to just build around Jared Goff and around their coach, around that team, to develop them more. They're all invested in Jalen Ramsey. They're going to have to pay him a big contract. They probably already did. But he has a lot of salary cap, so does Aaron Donald, so does Jared Goff, so does Robert Woods. He's bound to eventually. And eventually, their money's going to be eaten up in these 4 or 5 main guys, and those 4 or 5 main guys are great, but you need depth on your team to win a Super Bowl. And the Rams just really don't have that outside their, receivers and 1 D tackle, 1 corner, and their quarterback, who's not even above average in my opinion, and it's just not going to work out long term. I think we could see the Rams move on from Jared Goff. To be honest,
I think that if it were to make another one, it would be in these next 2 years because, like you said, they're not getting many new, young, good players from the draft since they gave away those draft picks. So I think if they do make any noise in the playoffs, they're going to have to be this year if they can manage to get a wild card spot, or next year.
Yeah, this Rams team is a team that's likely going to be, for the rest of Jared Goff's career there in LA, a team that's just like they are now. A solid team that's on pace for 10-6 season, 11-5 maybe, that's in the wild card hunt, kind of in the conversation for division championship, but always a step or two behind Seattle. And now with Arizona coming up with Kyler Murray playing great football, maybe even a step behind Arizona. So I think this Rams team will never be a team under Jared Goff that's straight up bad. They'll always be in the hunt for playoff appearance, playoff win, maybe in the first round.
Cooper Kupp too.
Yeah, Cooper Kupp, who's injured right now. Is that correct?
He might have just came back.
Anyway, Cooper Kupp, who's not been present most of this season, now back. So we might see this Rams take a step up. But I think, like I said, the best we'll see out of this team under Jared Goff is in the playoff hunt.
Sounds good.
All right, 2-1.
2 minutes.
Yeah.